Hi everyone. So this mobility class is going to touch on sort of the big three areas we focus on with mobility: shoulders, hips, spine. And we're also going to mix in some deep core work throughout. No equipment is needed, and we're going to start in a tabletop position, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to do a cat-cow, but we're going to make a circle with our cow. So you're going to inhale and find spinal extension, tailbone reaches up, gaze shifts up, and then you're going to side bend over to one side. And then as you come into spinal flexion, rounding your spine up to the ceiling, you're going to side bend over to the other side. Keep moving like this. Exhaling as you flex the spine up. Inhale as you find extension. One more time this direction. And then let's just switch direction of the circles. One more time. And then from here, I want you to elongate the spine to neutral. We're going to come into a fluid thread the needle. So I want you to take your right arm and you're going to weave it under the left, bending into the left elbow. You tap your cheek to the mat. And then you're just going to come up, pull that right elbow up to the ceiling, find an open twist. So exhale, close twist, lower down. Inhale it up. One more. And then let's come to center. So we're going to do a bird dog as we exhale. Right arm, opposite left leg are going to extend out. So I want you to inhale to prepare. As you exhale, I want you to engage through your abdominal wall. When you feel that gentle bracing of your core, right arm, left leg, extend up and out. And then as you inhale, you return them back down to the mat. Think breath first, feel the connection to your core, then the limbs outstretch. We're not crunching into one side of our waist as we do this. We are staying long and neutral through the spine. Go as slow as necessary. Last time. And I want you to hold with the leg and arm extended. Now we're going to shift right arm to the right as left leg goes to the left on an inhale. And then as you exhale, I want you to draw them back into midline. It doesn't have to be a big sweep. We're just going out in opposition and through midline. Twice more. Last time. Bring it to midline, and I want you to take the back of your right hand to your forehead, keeping that left leg off the mat. We're going to combine the work we've been doing. So on an inhale, I want you to find that open twist, rotating through the thoracic spine. Now as you exhale, you're going to bring your right elbow towards the left forearm, and you're going to draw that left knee in, but keep it at a hover. As you inhale, extend the left leg out, find your open twist. As you exhale, we close the twist, the knee draws in. We're staying long through the spine. The rotation is coming from our thoracic spine, that middle spine. And with your supporting left hand, I really want you to push the mat away, stay stable through that shoulder. Let's do one more. I want you to bring it through center, extend that right arm out one more time. We hold here. Both knees are going to come down. Right hand is going to come down in 3, 2, 1. Let's come to our tabletop. All right, now we're going to move from a tabletop into sort of a camel pose if you're familiar with yoga, basically a kneeling position. I'm going to walk you through it. We're going to do an arm circle to start. So I want you to, once again, reach that right arm up off the mat and forward. Now without rotating open through the spine, I want you to circle this right arm up and behind you. Now with it behind you, I'm going to push off of your left hand. We're going to come to kneeling, and then we're going to start to lean back. Now maybe it's just a slight lean for you. Maybe you bring this right hand all the way to your heel, sweeping the left arm up and over. This might be too much of a back bend. You do not need to get this low. And then let's just reverse it. Left hand comes to the mat. We are back in tabletop. We circle down and around. Let's do that again. Right arm reaches forward without twisting open through the spine. Circle it back so that we're really mobilizing through the shoulder joint. We push off of this left hand. Left arm sweeps up and over. Little back bend, or maybe you make it bigger and the hand comes to your heel. Stay here for a breath. And then we reverse it on the exhale. Connect to your core, bring yourself back up and into that tabletop. Right arm circles around. We're going to do 2 more. Arm circle it back. Push off that left hand. If you need the heel a little higher, you can also tuck your toes under so that it's elevated a little bit. That might help. Circle it back to tabletop. All right, last time. Circle the right arm up and back. Then push off your left hand. Lean it back. We're going to come up tall in a kneeling position. Give our wrists a little break. So let's do it. We come up tall, and I want both arms to reach up, bend at the elbows, hands behind your head. I'm turning to face you. I want your elbows to point forward to start. We're going to do a little shoulder sweep work for the shoulder joint. So let's start by opening up the elbows, but without flaring open through the rib cage. From here, you're going to straighten your arms up wide. We're going to start to sweep them back down, and as we do, you're going to rotate, flipping your palms behind you. We're then going to bend at the elbows, bringing the hands behind our back. And then we close, let the elbows come forward, but stay open through the chest. And just reverse that. We open up through the elbows. So the shoulder blades are retracted. We straighten the arms. We sweep them up overhead as we rotate. We bend at the elbows and close. Keep going like that. It's a controlled movement. Don't rush it, but you can make it a little more fluid as you're comfortable with the combo. Let's do just one more time here. And when you close those elbows in front of you, we're going to bring them back down to the mat. We're going to do that whole sequence on the other side. So let's start with our fluid thread the needle. This time it's the left arm that's going to weave under the right, bending into your right elbow, cheek to the mat. And then we find that open twist, pulling that left elbow gently up towards the ceiling. We thread it through. Open twist, twice more. Exhale to close the twist. Inhale to open, last time. And then come through center. We're going to take it into our bird dog. So you're going to inhale to prepare. As you exhale, first feel that gentle bracing through the abdominal wall, and then it's going to be left arm, right leg, extending out in opposition, maintaining a stable pelvis. And as you inhale, you return knee and hand to the floor. Now don't worry about kicking your right leg up super high, because I don't want you to arch into your lower back. We're using our abdominals, our deep stabilizing core muscles, to hold the spine in neutral. Now, next time those limbs go to hover, we hold them there. Maintaining stability through the right shoulder, so push the mat away. You're going to inhale, limbs sweep to the side in opposition. Exhale, bring them back to midline. Inhale, left arm to the left, right leg to the right. Exhale, back to midline. Maintain length through the back of your neck. Cervical spine matters too, so we're not just letting our head hang heavy. Now we're going to kind of put that thread the needle together with a bird dog up next. Give me one more like this. Inhale to the sides. Exhale through center. Now I want you to bring the back of that left hand to your forehead. Let's start with that open twist. So as you inhale, twist open to the left. As you exhale, we're going to draw the right knee in, and we're just going to rotate, twisting over to the right. Inhale, open twist, straighten that right leg. Exhale, draw it in, close the twist. Let's do one more. And then come through center, limbs outstretched in this bird dog position. Hold and breathe. We're going to come into that arm circle, into that back bend in 3, in 2, return the hand and knee to the mat in a tabletop position. All right, we're going to start with that arm circle on the left side. So you're going to reach the left arm forward without twisting open through the spine. Circle the arm up and back. Once it's reaching back behind you, you're open through the chest. You're going to push off this right hand. Right arm sweeps up. Maybe you just do a little side bend, okay? Maybe you just come here. Maybe you bring this left hand to your heel and make it a little bigger. We pause here, and then we're just going to reverse it on an exhale. So exhale, connect to your core, then bring yourself up and back into that tabletop, returning your left hand to the mat. We reach the arm forward. We circle it back. We come up, bend and sweep. Again, if you tuck your toes under, that's going to elevate your heel a little bit so it's easier to bring your hand onto it. It'll be harder if you have your toes untucked and the top of your feet flat on the mat. Twice more here. Last time, and then we'll stay kneeling. Now on an exhale, connect to your core, bring yourself to a tall kneeling position, and let's do that same little shoulder sweep combo. So start hands lightly behind your head, elbows point forward, neutral through the spine, engage through your core. As we open up the elbows, we do not flare open through the rib cage. So we're going to shift the focus into our hips up next. We'll do some hip work, sitting on the mat, and then we'll finish up with some work laying down on the mat. One more time through the shoulder work. Sweep and rotate, bend at the elbows. And when you're done, let's come to a seated position. We're going to find a 90-90 position with the legs, which means opposing 90-degree angles, okay? So I want you to mirror me. Let's have our left leg in front, left shin in front, and we're going to have our right leg behind. We're open through the back of this hip joint, and we can lean a little bit over to the left, and we can have our left hand kind of fingertips tented on the mat a little bit. So this lean is going to help accommodate movement through this back right hip. Now, if you're really open through the hips, you might be able to do this in a more upright position. Might need to lean a little farther, okay? Find what works for your body. So we're going to focus on mobilizing through this back right hip joint to start, internal to external rotation. So first, keeping your foot on the floor, we're going to lift the knee up off of it. External rotation, it might be tiny. Put the knee down. Now, internal rotation, keep the knee down, pick the foot up. Again, these are probably not huge movements unless you are very mobile through the hips. That is okay. I want control over range of motion. I don't care how big it is. Now, as you do this, we are not rolling through the pelvis. So when I lift the foot up, I'm not rolling my hips forward to make the movement bigger. When I'm lifting my knee up, I'm not rolling my pelvis back. Keeping the hips still so that I'm really isolating that thigh bone rotating within the hip joint. You may notice as you do a few reps, maybe that range of motion gets slightly bigger. Now we have our next change coming up. Going to be a combo. We're just going to do the external rotation, so the lifting of the knee and the lowering. And then we're going to take this right hand and we're going to reach it over to the left, kind of folding our torso over this left thigh. So let's do that. So we're going to do external rotation, lift the knee up, lower it down. Now take this right arm, you're going to bend into the left elbow as you do this, and you're going to reach it forward, coming over this left thigh. So you'll feel a little bit of a stretch through the outer left hip area. We're going to come back up through center, externally rotate, and reach. You can come to this left forearm if you'd like. I'm actually going to do that. That feels better for me. So I just move my left hand out a little bit so that as I reach, I can come onto that forearm. Let's do 2 more. Now, when you come up, we're going to do a windshield wipering motion with the knee. So start like you're doing that external rotation, but we're going to bring it all the way up and over to the other side. So now you're in a 90-90 position facing the other direction. And I just want you to keep moving like that. One side and then the next. Woo! So this is transitioning us over to the other side. We're going to repeat that all. Okay, so next time you windshield wiper, over to the right. We're going to hold there and we're going to set up for that whole sequence on the other side. I am just going to spin towards you so that I'm facing you. Okay, so our setup. We have the right shin in front of us, and we're going to take the left leg behind us. So they're opposing 90-degree angles. And then we can take our right hand out to the side, a little lean, especially if you're tight through the hips. That's going to support us, and we're going to start internal, external rotation in this back left hip joint. So the knee lifts up, the foot stays down, and then the knee stays down, the foot lifts up. Ooh. No movement through the hip bones. It is the thigh moving within the hip joint. Add just the tiniest little pause at the top range of motion of each one. So little pause when you're at your max internal rotation, little pause when you're at your max external, and then lower it down. So we have that combo coming up. We're going to eliminate the internal rotation. We're just going to focus on external, so the knee will lift and lower. And then we're going to reach across, left arm over to the right. One last internal, and then we're going to switch it up. Now I'm going to take my right hand and just move it out a little farther so I can come to that forearm. So first we're going to find external rotation. So you're going to lift that left knee up. You're going to lower it down. Now this left arm is going to reach across, and we're kind of folding over this right thigh. We're going to bring it back up. External rotation through the hip joint. And then reach. Oh, that feels so good. So we have this big reach and twist, this kind of feel-good movement. Don't translate that into the back leg though. I don't want this. I still want hips square, really isolate it when you do that external rotation through the hip. Two more, and then we're going to do that windshield wiper. Last time. And then from here, we come up to seated, hands off the mat, and you're going to windshield wiper up, dropping the knees in a 90-90 position facing the other direction. And back to start. So we're trying to keep our feet on the floor as we do this. The knees are just lifting up and over to the other side. Whew, I'm like traveling down my mat. Just a couple more here, and then we're going to come to lay down on the mat to finish up this class. Let's do one more time to each side. And then I want you to come through center, feet on the mat, and let's take it down onto our back. So arms down by your side for support, and we are going to have our knees bent. We're going to keep our left foot on the mat to start, and then let's just bring our right knee up into a tabletop position. Now I want you neutral through the lower spine. We're going to connect to deep core again, but to start, just maintaining neutral, all I want you to do is straighten and bend through this right leg. Straightening it, bending it, opening up through the back of the leg. Now, if you want to add in a little ankle mobility, point it through the ankle as you straighten, flex through the ankle as you bend. If that overcomplicates things, don't worry about it. Now, as you kick that leg straight, I don't want you tucking under through your lower spine. We're maintaining neutral. So if you're really tight through the hamstrings, you might need to send the leg out at an angle so that it's straightening not straight up to the ceiling, but more so at a diagonal. And that will be your best modification if you're really tight through the backs of the legs. Now we're going to hold this leg straight and we're going to trace circles. So next time that leg goes straight, hold it straight. Again, if you're tight through the hamstrings, I would lower it a little bit. Plant down firmly through this left foot and your arms, and we're just going to trace circles with that leg. Inhaling, exhaling it, bringing it back around. Now you're only making these circles as big as you can, maintaining a stable pelvis and connection to your core. So yes, this is for the hips, but it is also a deep core exercise. Switch direction of your circles. Notice if this stabilizing left knee is wobbling all over the place. It shouldn't be. It's pointing straight up to the ceiling, so really plant down firmly through the foot. One more circle. And then I want you to bend the knee. I want you to place your right foot on the mat, and we're going to do the same thing on the left. So again, make sure you're neutral to the spine. Bring that left knee up to tabletop, and we're going to start by just straightening and bending through the knee without tucking under through the tailbone, staying neutral through the spine. So we're breathing on the exhale. You feel the ribs move gently in and down. You feel that bracing through the abdominal wall. If you want to add a point and flex, point through the ankle as you straighten, flex as you bend. You can have that leg at an angle instead of straight up to the ceiling if you are tight through the hamstrings, which I am. We're going to hold this leg straight. We're going to trace those circles in 2, in 1. Let's hold that leg straight. Doesn't have to be straight up to the ceiling, can be at a little angle, and let's start tracing those circles. Inhale, exhale around. We're stabilizing through our arms. We're pressing that right foot down into the floor. We are stable to the pelvis. So if you're rocking side to side, I want you to make the circles smaller, okay? Maybe they're just dime-sized circles. Switch direction. Last time. And then I want you to bend that knee. Now, instead of planting it on the floor, though, let's take our right leg up to tabletop as well. We're going to do that same thing, but we're going to do both legs together, okay? So we're just going to straighten and bend, straighten and bend. If you want to add that point and flex, feel free. We are neutral to the lower spine. That's important. Now, when we trace circles, the legs are going to go in opposition. So they're going to go out wide and then come together. In 3, 2, 1. Let's hold those legs straight. All right, we're going to trace circles. So they go out, exhale around. So this is a lot harder for the core. If it's too much, I want you to do bent knees, circle around, okay? They do not have to come very low. Only as low as you can. Maintain a neutral spine. Switch direction. One final circle. And I want you to bend the knees. Okay, so right now our palms are down towards the mat. All I want you to do is flip them up to the ceiling and take them up to about shoulder height, okay? This is going to feel good. So we're going to start by taking our knees and you're going to drop them over to the right, trying to keep your shoulders as best you can down on the floor. And then from here, we're going to take our left arm and we're just going to close it on top of the right, coming to lay on our side body. And now let's just reverse it. Open up through the upper body, keep your knees stacked. Now on an exhale, you're going to connect your obliques and you're going to pull those knees up through center. And now you're going to drop them down and over to the left. Let's close the upper body, coming to lay on our left side. We twist open through the upper body. Exhale, connect to our core, bring the knees up through center, and we drop them over to the right. Keep moving like this. First the legs, then the upper body. Upper body, then the lower half. We're going to go one more time to each side. On your next exhale, bring those knees up through tabletop, and let's come into a happy baby. You can grab the outer edges of your feet, pulling those knees in towards your armpits. We'll just finish with a static stretch here, and then you are done. Might feel good to hold this in stillness, or maybe you rock side to side a little bit, sort of massaging out that lower back area. You can stay here as long as feels good. When you're ready, we're going to straighten out the legs. The arms are going to go overhead. Full body stretch. Inhale, grow long. And then exhale, relax into the mat. That is your class. Awesome job. I'll see you guys next time.